Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal on a very pretty Monday morning. It is 20 degrees already here in southern British Columbia. And that would make it 68 already in American. Okay, so that's a pretty warm one, and I can feel it in my car right now. And it's about now I wish that I had air conditioning in the car, which of course I don't. Well, I used to, but it broke. And the price I would need to pay to get it fixed was a little bit too much. And luckily, well, up until this point of global warming, it wasn't a major issue because there are only a couple of sort of weeks in the year that you really need air conditioning. And of course, if global warming continues the way that it's doing, I may have to change cars. Not an easy task. All right, so having said that, how was the weekend for you? I hope it was good. I really had a very impactful weekend. I'd have to say impactful. That would be the word of the day. Impact. Dear Mama Sal impacted on me this weekend. Let me try and think what. For those of you who weren't there, on the open broadcast on Friday afternoon, my time, Benji joined us, and he and I together started to talk about motivation in different ways. And I'm pretty certain that's what started the impact in some ways, because I don't believe they're coincidences. I think that things roll. So we were all sort of feeling pretty fired up. And I just need to say that I unfortunately did not think to put up a second camera when Benji came online. And if he ever does that again, I'm going to do that so the two of us can both be on screen and I can feed it back then to the rest of you. But Benji and I have a very interesting dynamic when we talk about things like that, because we come from two different generations, but also we come from two different ways of life. Benji is a very well-disciplined, well-organized, incredible person. And then you've got me. Addicted to cigarettes for most of her life, you name it. I was definitely not a perfect person. Definitely not. And that's why when I said I wanted to do Dear Mama Sal, I said I'd only do it if I was honest about stuff, which I also wasn't quite sure if I'd have the guts to do, but I keep challenging myself on it. Anyway, so here was the thing. So it was really great to have him on board, and I was so busy talking about this I forgot to avoid the construction zone. They must need a smile today, let's put it that way. And at the moment we seem to be sailing straight through, which is rather nice. However, don't hold your breath, you never know what's coming up next. Okay, looks good. Yay. So one of the interesting things about it, though, is that because we come from two totally different aspects of things, hopefully it makes it interesting for people, because you've got the very disciplined, no holds barred sort of practicality, and then you've also got my experience, having come from a different dynamic. And it doesn't mean that either of us is correct, right? We're just hoping that between the two of us it makes sense to people. And also it doesn't mean that either of us is incorrect either. Let me hasten to add that. So it was a really fun experience, and I said I only regret that I didn't have a second camera. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit through some of that material. I downloaded it, and see if I can take some nuggets out of it for you guys. That is so cute. There's a little 4-year-old crossing the road with her father. And somebody's obviously taught her to look left, look right, look left again. So the whole time, as she's crossing the road, she's looking left, she's looking right, she's looking left, you know, and she's checking everything except forward. So it was absolutely amazing to watch her walk, because it wasn't an easy walk for her, because she kept throwing herself off balance almost. It was really funny to see. Okay, so now then. So Friday was a really energizing day. And then on Saturday, I decided to do a quick Saturday broadcast, which I don't normally do. And I did it on Hangouts, because I like to try and swap the things around so that we get different people in and not always the same group of people. And I was delighted that we managed to see a couple of new ones. Plus, we got onto a topic that was very impactful for me. One of our viewers talked about the fact that she really needed to get some discipline around money. And I'm not going to name the person concerned, because she knows who she is, and the other people who were in the room know who she is, but I don't think that's something I necessarily want to advertise. But I really want to thank that viewer, because she was so honest about it. And I said to her, well, she was saying all the right things. You know, I really want to do this, and I really want to do that. And what's the problem? Well, I'm a shopaholic. I spend too much on all sorts of things. And I said, okay, fine. That means that you need, if you want to, you need to get yourself a different mindset. The same as I explained to her that I have an epitaph that I live by. That, you know, what I would like them to write on my tombstone if I ever have one. And I live by that every day. And some of you know, it says that here lies Sal, who cared enough to share, shared enough to make a meaningful difference, and by so doing became a gentle giant inside. So the impact of that on my life is that every night I can go to bed and say, hey, did you care enough to share today? Which is why you will see me put up vlogs even though I'm not feeling well or whatever, unless I'm under strict doctor's orders to keep quiet, which happened. I will do what I can, all right, because that's part of my goal in life. So what I heard from the viewer was that she was really impacted by the way I saved to go to Vegas. And as many of you will remember, I literally saved whatever was left in my purse, coins and notes. After I get paid every 2 weeks, whatever was left in my purse at the end of 2 weeks, I allow myself so much discretionary money, and that means that's my spending money for the 2 weeks. And whatever was left of that, I put into a tin. Plus any extra money that I got, I did some other things, some teaching and stuff like that. And anything that I got paid for, I did some online consulting and so forth. And anything I got paid for went into the tin. That was over and above my salary. And it was incredible because I did end up saving everything, the flight, the house cost, and spending money. And then when I went to Vegas, I spent very carefully. I didn't go and spend money, everything. I just spent money on things I wanted to spend money on, if that makes sense. So I didn't go gambling. Gambled in Monte Carlo. I don't need to gamble in Vegas. You know what I mean? It was just like I didn't have to do that to feel that I had the Vegas experience. Walked through plenty of casinos, definitely got the sense of it. Anyway, so the point was that what the viewers said, that really had an impact. And I said to her, you may want to put a note on your mirror in your bathroom. Now, the funny thing is, when I really want to remind myself of anything, I put a note on my mirror in my bathroom. Why? Well, because I go to the bathroom a lot. Really, I spend a lot of time looking at that mirror, either putting my makeup on or just when I go visit the bathroom. So I find that's a really good place to put notes to myself. And I said to her, what if you put a note up there that asks you, did you waste any money today? Or did you overspend today? And in other words, hold yourself accountable. We want somebody else to take responsibility and do it. The same as I really wanted somebody else to clean up my bedroom. But I couldn't afford that, so, of course not. Not any of that. I'd have to clean it up before I let anybody in there. This is what I said is, if you put the note up there and you read it enough times, if you go shopping and you ask yourself, before you pick something up, do I really need this? Of course you can justify it. You can rationalize it. As I heard once, and I loved it, it was like, yeah, you can rationalize anything, because to rationalize is to give yourself rational lies. So we can all do that. And so I looked at it and I was a bit stunned that she had found what I did to Save for Vegas so impactful. And then on Saturday, as a lot of you know, I'm on this mission to, bit by bit, clean up my bedroom. In fact, bit by bit, I intend to clean up my whole house, and it could take the rest of my life. The goal, and I'm doing it in small bits because I get very easily overwhelmed with things. And when when I overwhelm, I don't do anything. Because if the task is too big, then I just know I'm not going to be able to do it, so I don't. Wonder if any of you relate to that. But I also am aware of all the excuses I had given myself. It means moving the bed, because I wanted to clean under my bed, because I was pretty sure I hadn't moved that bed in many a year. And the reason for that is I've got one of those mechanical beds where the head goes up and the feet go up, and that whole mechanism at the bottom is almost to the ground, which means you can't clean under there. You can't even put a Swiffer under there. But I was pretty sure that there was a stuff under there, and stuff under my bed that needed to be, and stuff under the head of my bed, you know what I mean? And I was pretty darn sure there was a lot of stuff there. Well, if you haven't seen the video, look at yesterday's video, or the previous video. You'll know which one it is. My butt's in the air. And see exactly what was under my bed. I mean, it was horrifying. Now, the only part of it that I cleaned up was the dirt. In other words, I went through the papers and stuff and threw away what I could. But all the things that were under the bed, I actually just packed up again, and I'm going to clean those, sort those through this weekend. Now, some of you are saying, why didn't you just do it while you were there? Because I would overwhelm, and then that would have a negative connotation in my mind. So if you only do, I think I spent about an hour doing what I did, and an hour I can handle. And my goal, quite honestly, is to go through my house and halve what is in there. Literally, halve. But I also know that if ever I were to downsize, I probably would need to halve it again. It's pretty scary. I have collected so much stuff. So it was an impactful weekend at many, many levels. And then, just to top it all off, bless his heart, Benji called me from San Francisco. And he wanted to show me the view from his hotel room at night, overlooking San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz, and the Golden Gate Bridge. So, what a nice way to end my evening. And I love it when he does that. You know, he does it. We were discussing it, and obviously it reminded him because we were discussing it on the broadcast together, that, you know, when he was traveling early on, when he first started traveling, he'd send me a postcard from everywhere. Then one day he picked up his computer. He was on a beach somewhere, and I can't remember where. But he picked up his computer and he Skyped me. And then he turned the computer around so that I could see what he was seeing on the beach, you know, looking out onto the ocean. And I just loved it, because just for that split second in my life, I was on vacation. So if any of you take your computers with you on vacation, and I tried to do this when we were in Vegas as well, and I think a lot of vlogging is about taking people along with you. You know, that you show them what you're looking at, you show them what's going on, so that they can enjoy it. And I know that that was one of the greatest gifts, other than obviously visiting Erin and all the laughter that we had and experience that we had in Vegas. But it was really amazing to hear the comments from so many people about how much they appreciated that we took everybody along with us, you know what I mean, that we did all the vlogging that we did so that you all could be part of the process. So that said, what impact are you going to have on somebody's life today? Are you going to phone somebody that's not expecting a call from you? Or maybe just, well, construction. Or maybe just leave a voicemail for them, which is as simple as, I wanted to send you a hug. Which friend that you haven't seen for a while are you going to say, hey, let's get together for a coffee? What can you do that will impact somebody else's life? It can be as simple as a smile, you know that. You have the ability to have impact. The question is, do you choose to do it? Or, like me and my stuff under my bed, do you have so many excuses why you can't? And by the way, it is my intention to continue to let you know what my excuses are for all these tasks just before I do them. What excuses I've been giving myself. When really all I had to do was to buckle down and do it, and it was over in an hour. Because I want you, I'm pretty sure that you give excuses as well. And even as I'm saying to you, what impact are you going to have? I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are busy with your excuses in your head just while I'm saying this. I've got distracted here because there is a car to my right with a Confederate flag on its number plate here in Canada. And I don't know why. I think that would be quite a dangerous thing to be driving around with at the moment, especially in Canada. I mean, no disrespect to anybody in the South and all that they sacrifice, don't get me wrong on that. I just think that that symbol does belong in a museum, and we need to move on. Okay, having said that, thank you so much for watching or listening today, whichever you decided to do. I'm really, really happy that you do that. I'm obviously very excited that we're slowly inching our way towards 425,000 views. You know, once I cross 400, then I'm looking at 425 in my mind. And we've already done 3,000 of them, so we're doing really well. And I'm hoping that you continue to get benefit. We have a number of people who have been not well, and we wish them well. And I want to thank again the Dear Mama Sal broadcast team of support people who are working so hard to support people during the day while I'm working. I really, really appreciate all that you do. You know who you are. And for any of you who need support emotionally, if you're confused, if you don't understand why you keep repeating the patterns you do, we've got a whole lot of really interesting people one of whom you're bound to connect with, and they will do what they can to support you. Doesn't mean that they're perfect people any more than I am, but what they are is very supportive. And that's what most of us need, somebody who will support what they're trying to do. Have a wonderful day, have an impact. It's your choice to do that, remember. This is dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.